Normal.
Good morning, ladies. How are you? It's Monday morning. And even though you can see in Dawn's background, it says smart women don't leave money on the table. That's part of what we're going to be talking about as I interview Dawn Cermak with Hey Taxi. And I had an incredible weekend at Palooza in Nashville, which some of you have heard me talk about it, but it was just the most amazing weekend of setting goals. And I hear a lot of people say, oh, I don't need personal development in my life. Well, unless you are kicking and rocking out all 7 areas of your life and you are living the ooh la la lifestyle, then there's some work that needs to be done in some of those areas. So I found that out this weekend. For me, it was fun to be in Nashville with the bands. It was my anniversary. So wonderful weekend. I really enjoyed it. And I'm happy to be back to talk about the end of the year. So, a lot of us kind of go into this mode in December where we coast and we think, okay, I'm just going to kind of start winding things down and then I'm going to hit it really hard in January. Well, here's a few things that you might not know. There are a lot of pieces that you need to take care of in your business in December because the IRS looks at December 31st is the end of the calendar year. And if there's certain things that you don't have finished in your business, then that's a problem. So today, Dawn is going to talk about those 5 things that we need to be completing before the end of the year. But before we get into that, Dawn, why don't you tell those that are watching this video today a little bit about Hey Taxi?
I would love to, and I'm super excited that you had such a great ooh la la weekend. And it's actually inspired me. I love the whole setting the goals in 7 areas and then paring it down. And I had a great experience when I did that. I was sharing that with you, and I think I'm going to do it again thanks to your inspiration, because I think it's a super valuable thing to be doing. And I think, yes, there are 5 things that you need to be doing in your business, but I think there's also that bigger picture. And what we focus on in our strategy session we created the year end, the business bookends, is how are we going to be successful going into 2022 if we don't look back in 2021 and figure out what worked and what didn't, right? If we don't pause and take that time, truly take that time to say, okay, what worked great? What didn't work so good? How do I course correct and really map out 2022? So a lot of the strategy session and what we're teaching in our strategy session is that, okay, pause. What are your values? Are they in alignment with what you're doing? What worked? What didn't? How do we course correct? Let's do an audit of social media like this. So there's a lot of kind of bigger picture stuff. And there's a lot of real hands-on stuff, like things that need to be done before December 31st, period, right? So in Hey Taxi, we focus on the 4 pillars of profitability. We focus on helping you earn more, keep more of what you work so hard to earn, access more tools, training, community, all the things that we need to support our business, and believing more. And that belief piece could be the most important piece.
Yeah.
And more power to all of you that are completely done evolving as far as personal growth goes, but I think most of us are still on the journey. And
no one has ever evolved enough. I'll have to tell you that. And those that do, I think they just feel like maybe that's not a big focus of theirs right now, but you've heard me say it 1,000 times. Our businesses can only grow to the extent that we do. And if we're not willing to continue year after year growing and evolving and opening ourselves up for that transformation and that growth, then our businesses are going to come to a point where they're going to hit a ceiling and it's not going to grow anymore.
Well, I think that there was a workshop that I was just part of, the Inspired Business Blueprint. And from the feedback I got from a lot of people, when they were asked the question, what's holding you back in your business? It was self-doubt and self-sabotage is what was holding them back. So that's that belief piece. And I say all the time, you need to have somebody that will pour belief into you and believe for you until you have that belief solid for yourself. Like you need to be surrounded with community, mentors, and support that will be that pillar of belief for you.
Yeah.
so you can, and even when we get there, even when we're successful, even in businesses 9, 10, and 11, which is what's true for me. I've been an entrepreneur 32 years. I'm on businesses 9, 10, 11. I created Hey Taxi to support female entrepreneurs who are growing their businesses online in those 4 areas of profitability, with a extra special focus on the tax and business side, because I know that a lot of us as female entrepreneurs, we avoid that. We avoid it. We do this in our business, just focus on make more, make more, make more. And by avoiding that in our business, but still trying to call ourselves a business person, we set up this whole imposter syndrome, this whole disconnect in ourselves. I say I'm a business person, but I'm not doing the business stuff. So at Hey Taxi, that's one of the things we do to alleviate and kick imposter syndrome to the curb, is really help you embrace all the tax and business stuff, which will help you not leave money on the table, because if you're not looking at it, you are leaving money on the table, period, end of discussion.
Yeah, so let's get into the details of some of the pieces that we should be focusing on. And I did attend that blueprint of yours. I have my paperwork sitting right here to the right side of me. It was amazing. I loved the workshop. It was great to have an accountability partner there, declare things out loud. We all need to be doing those in our businesses, no matter what level you're at, right? We have to set those goals. If you don't have goals in front of you that you're reaching toward, that you're gazelle-like intense to, you're just floundering, right? So I think one of the most important things you said before we move on was go back and look at your year to see what's working and what didn't work. So what didn't work, why? Was it because you didn't put the effort to it? Was it because it just isn't a demand? So it's not a solution that the community is looking for. So you need to readjust and focus on other pieces that your client is looking for versus the things that you think they need. So that's interesting to go back and look at those things year after year. But let's dive into those pieces that we should be focusing on in December.
Okay, so is your mileage log up to date?
No. No.
And at the end of the year, so put this on your calendar, December 31st, you want to record your mileage. You need to know your beginning mileage and your ending mileage every year, right? Mm-hmm. And then obviously you need to fill in between how much of that use was business use of your vehicle. If you're not using a mileage app on your phone, it makes it so much easier than, like, I used to have a little recorder that I kept in the car, and I would just say where I was going. And then, periodically, like once a year, right, I would sit down and I would create the spreadsheet that backed up, that went with the mileage. Well, now it's easy. You get in your car and your mileage app says, was this a personal trip or a business trip? Swipe left if personal, swipe right if business, and if business, why and where and what, right? Here's the thing. Auto expenses are the number one audit target. Number one audit target. You need your mileage log. It needs to be up to date, and you need to know what that odometer read at the end of the year. So make sure that happens. Make sure you have written reimbursement checks to yourself for everything that you spent outside of your business, but haven't gotten reimbursed for. You know where the easiest place to do this is? Go on Amazon.
Yep.
Go on Amazon, look at your orders for the entire year and see how many of the things, guilty, because on my Amazon card, I get 5% back. So I just charge Amazon, everything goes on my Amazon card. But I just bought 2 new power cords for my laptop. I bought a new battery for my laptop, and I just click, one click go, one click go. So go back in Amazon and look at all of the things that you charge for your business that you need to be reimbursed for. Write yourself that reimbursement check before the end of the year so that it gets expensed this year and not next year. It's a big deal. Jill my partner found $800 worth of stuff that she had just charged on Amazon over the course of the year.
Crazy.
When she went through it, $800, right? Okay, here's another thing you need to do. Get your W-9s out to all your independent contractors. Like, do you use a graphic designer? Do you use, whoever you're using that is an independent contractor, a 1099 or whatever, you need their W-9s in so that you're ready in January to issue the 1099. You want to have that paperwork in place. You want to be all set. And the other thing that you want to do is make sure that you've taken an inventory. If your business is an inventory business, then you need to have an inventory done before the end of the year. Here's another one. It's not, I got two more tax related, but I'm going to throw in this one just for you and for me, because I need to do it too. Back up your computer. Do yourself a favor once a year, at least once a year. Let's get that computer back up. I know mine is.
I don't know if anyone's heard this story, but I'm on computer number 2 in the last 14 months. And they took my computer in about 4 months ago. I hadn't been backing it all up and I lost everything, and they put everything into one file. So let me tell you, that was it slowed me down so much, was a huge issue in my business. Back it up and use Google Drive or whatever it is that you need to be using, OneDrive, but always have that going. And now I never worry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was just an extra.
I learned the hard way.
I'm the pot and the kettle. I need to get it done too. I've got the terabyte drive waiting for me and I need to get it done. So let's continue on, because this is the stuff I'm telling you has to happen before the end of the year. This is not I'll deal with it in February. It's too late.
Right.
So I'm not a CPA. I'm not a bookkeeper. I'm just an entrepreneur with 32 years experience of dealing with taxes and business and all different business structures. I've been a sole proprietor, an LLC, a C Corp. I do the S election. I've been a partnership. Have a real estate holding company. I've done it all, right? So all of the different things, but these are just basics for all of them. Have you looked at your Q4 estimated taxes? Have you looked at estimated taxes at all? Because if all of a sudden, this happens to a lot of female entrepreneurs who go to grow their businesses online, they used to be W-2, or, their spouse was W-2, they're used to having money withheld. And then you go into business. Hopefully you were successful. Hallelujah, if you were. But if you were successful and you haven't been making quarterly tax payments, you potentially have a little bit of an issue on your hands. So there's two things that need to happen. Get in touch with the CPA. If you made some good money this year and you haven't been making estimated tax payments, what you may need to do, and there's some steps that are involved with this, you can still course correct, but you might need to put yourself on payroll so that you can get money out of your business through withholding. Because when you do it that way, the IRS doesn't care when you made the money. It just shows up. It's withholding, end of the year, they're reporting. But if you're doing estimated tax payments, you can't just in Q4 throw all the money that you owe in taxes or think you owe. Hopefully your books are up to date and you know what you owe, right? That's a story for another day. You can't just throw it all in Q4. You owe it to the IRS when you made it. So if you had a big Q1, you scored some big clients in Q1, you owed the money in Q1. So if you haven't looked at all of that, you need to look at all of that. It may be a really good time, if you think you've made some money, to purchase that equipment, to set up that coaching agreement, to join Hey Taxi's membership, to do all of the things you're thinking about doing next year. As far as expenditures, if you've made money, you may want to do them in December, because that lowers your tax burden and lowers your exposure to potential penalties and fines because you didn't pay the money in when you were supposed to. It's a thing. I promise you it's a thing. I'm not making it up. There's safe harbors. There's all kind of thing that goes with it. You need to be having a meeting with your CPA right now, not just about, capital gains and losses personally and all of that, but this piece. It's a really important piece. And you can also pay your Q4 state estimated tax payment in this year, and so get that expensed this year. You don't necessarily want to wait until January 15th, which is the deadline for Q4 estimated tax payments. If you pay it early, you get to write it off this year.
Yeah. You should be meeting with your CPA at least twice a year. Yeah.
Absolutely.
100%. And if your you're feeling like your CPA is not really directing you in the proper direction, and they're saying, well, what you have is a hobby and blah, 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 and they're not helping you write things off, that's a red flag. You need to get with a CPA that's treating your business as a real business, whether you have all income in and you're investing and it's a loss. I remember the first year in Lead Up for Women, it was a loss, right? I was investing everything into the business and it was a loss the first year. That didn't make it a hobby. It was a true business. It had insurance, it had, everything filed, it had DBAs, it had tax ID numbers, EIN numbers. It was making money. So again, make sure that you're doing the right thing by listening to what Dawn has to say in these top 5 areas, because December is your last chance to be able to do this. You should be on the phone with your CPA getting an appointment now to go in and figure out, what do you have to do? Where should you be spending some of your money to be able to offset some of that revenue that you've generated this year?
Yeah. Did you know? I mean, if you've had a really good year and you're in the market for a car, there are rules, you need to follow them, but you can buy a luxury SUV through your business for your business and write off the entire thing in 1 year. You don't even have to depreciate it, but there's rules. You need to know what they are. It's in the 179 deduction, and the car has to weigh 6,001 pounds. I mean, there's rules. You need to know what they are. You need to make sure you've met the requirements, but there's a lot you can do right now to remedy potentially a really big tax exposure.
Yeah.
You have.
So don't leave money on the table, ladies. Pay attention, run your business like a business. I always say, pull up your panties, be a big girl about this, run your business the way you need to be running your business. This is not a hobby. You need to have all the normal protections like business insurance, all of that, you can write off, but you need to have that. All organizations like Lead Up for Women, Hey Taxi, coaching that you do, money that you're putting into courses and programs. And I know, Dawn, you have something coming up here, a few things coming up here this month. So let's talk about those really quick, and then how the ladies can get in contact with you.
Okay. So what we have coming up this month for everybody, anybody can take it. It's called Business Bookends. It's a strategy session. It's 90 minutes. It comes with a companion guide that is brilliant. It's a workbook for you to work through, and it has a lot of this stuff in it, and everything I talked about and a lot more, right? We talk about goal setting. We talk about a lot of different pieces of what should be happening right now to look back, assess, plan, do, review, right? Plan, do, review. Well, now is the review time. You planned it, you did it, review it, and then course correct for 2022, what worked and what didn't, everything that we talked about. So a lot of this hands-on stuff, back up your computer, do an audit of your business insurance, all of those administrative tasks, I guess. But if you're not doing them, if you're not shopping your business insurance every year and making sure you're covered, cyber liability, data breach insurance are big things right now that everybody should be looking at, professional liability, umbrella policies. I mean, now's a really good time to look at all that. And now's a really good time to plan, to have time for your family. Anyway, a whole other thing. Year-end bookends, it's $99. It's half price. We're keeping the Black Friday price. Plus it's a BOGO. So now you can pay the $99 and you can invite a friend, a teammate, a fellow female entrepreneur, or, somebody else, that could use this year-end wrap up. It's brilliant. I'm telling you, the workbook alone, brilliant. So I'm going to put that in there. And actually, we even have an offer just to buy the workbook. But why would you? Here's what happens with us, with female entrepreneurs. Like, we avoid it because we don't want to do it, all this stuff. It's so much more fun to do it together. And like you said, sharing and declaring has power. We've got breakout sessions built into this so that you can get with other female entrepreneurs, talk about your goals, talk about your roadblocks, hear theirs, support each other, and maybe end up with an accountability partner coming out of it. So I'll give you the link to the guidebook. You can just buy the guidebook, but I wouldn't miss the session. December 3rd, it's December 13th from, I think, 7 to 8:30. I'll look it up. I'll make sure I give you the right time, and it's Eastern Standard Time. It'll all be in the link. We have that coming up. We have for our members, advanced year-end, or it's a financial year-end cleanup with a look to advanced tax strategies moving into 2022. We have 2 things right at the beginning of next year that if you're just not in this space right now, if you just can't get yourself in this space right now, we have coming up at the end of January, Business Builders Boot Camp for everybody. Make it official, make it, oh, look, I'm blanking on it. It's 3 days, and it's all about making your business official, how you're going to show up online, and then making it profitable.
Nice.
Right? Oh, making it professional, make it official, make it professional, make it profitable. That's the Business Builders Boot Camp. It's 3 sections. It's one day, January 25th. It's amazing. And I think it's like $11 to register. And that's just to make sure you show up.
Right.
That's what that is. And then we have taxes and tequila. And we're going to end there. Taxes and tequila is for you. I don't care whether you have an accountant, whether you use TurboTax. People say, oh, I have an accountant. I'm like, well, the accountant is only good as what you put in the shoebox.
Right.
And at Taxes and Tequila, we teach you what to put in the shoebox and how to document and how to take full advantage of the tax benefits that are available to us.
Excuse me.
As God bless you. Take full advantage of the tax benefits that are available to us as female entrepreneurs growing our business online, and back it all up, and then not have to be, I don't know, am I doing this right? Am I allowed to do this? Like, we teach you what to do, and we teach you how to do it so that you fill up that shoebox and get a nice juicy tax refund in the next month.
Yeah, ladies, there's every chance and opportunity for you to do business the right way. And if you haven't done it the right way all year, at least now you'll know what you need to do in 2022 to have a successful business and to be doing things by the book, the way we need to be doing them to really optimize your write-offs, optimize your refunds, optimize everything within your business, and understand the areas that are write-offs, that aren't write-offs. And Hey Taxi is more than just about taxes. It's about empowering you to be a CEO of your business, empowering you. That's what this is all about. She didn't even mention they have membership opportunities. So Dawn will put all that below in the comment section. You can join Hey Taxi. It's a write-off. They have several different levels that you can join at. I am a member of Hey Taxi. I highly recommend that you look at joining Hey Taxi. It's a great way to look at the financial part of your business, but then there's so much fun that comes along with that. And they have an incredible community of women. So not only are you going to meet new women and be able to collaborate with them, you're going to learn so much about the financial part of your business. It's just insane. So ladies, really highly consider this as one of your write-offs for 2021 and join Hey Taxi. So Dawn, thank you. You're one of my favorite human beings. I'm so glad you were here today. I'm so happy that you've created this community for women. Everyone in Lead Up for Women, I highly recommend that they join Hey Taxi, they check it out, and they jump in before year end, because I know we don't know what's going to happen in 2022. So get in and get access to all of they have just a huge vault full of content for you to jump in now and learn what to do in 2022 to make your business profitable if it's not this year. So thank you again, Dawn, for being with us. All the information will be below. Thank you all for joining us in this Member Monday Spotlight we have this morning, and we'll see you all next week. Bye-bye now. Take care.